Hello, good morning. Most of you, it's probably like afternoon to evening now. But to me it's still morning for 20 more minutes. I'm going to be doing a reading for fire signs today. So that's going to be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. I'm going to start off by purifying the space with this candle and setting the intention for the reading. Yikes. Spicy this morning, huh? And if you would, just kind of gaze into the flames, set your intention, think about all the things that you'd like to be accomplishing over the weeks and months ahead. I will be rolling these live streams out on a regular basis, but they can go up to a year in advance, if not more. The timing of tarot is very non-specific, So, any period of time out into the future that you would like to know more about, just spend this time relaxing, getting comfortable, and setting your intention. Great. Oh, good. Sorry. Trying to keep track of my signal. I did order an Ethernet cable, but until it arrives, I'm relying on my Wi-Fi to be consistent. So, fire signs. For you today, I will be using the Jack-o'-lantern tarot. It's a very fiery energy with the Jack-o'-lanterns. And we'll be starting with the fire sign of Aries. Aries. So let's see what's in store for you for the upcoming time. And these, of course, can be taken also as timeless readings, such that whenever you find this reading, regardless of the date, it should be applicable to your life merely by that being the point at which it enters your vibration. If you'll pardon me a moment, I am keeping track of my timestamps. Aries, you have the Knight of Pentacles coming up very strong to open your reading. I say very strong because it's also crossed by this Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is about an established income stream, something you've been doing for a long time and you're quite experienced with it. And the Knight of Pentacles is about money coming into you very quickly. So this could be a raise, could be a promotion. It could be even getting hired on to a position where you're getting paid more doing the same thing. So all of these things are possible. It could also be a bonus of some kind. So all of these, especially, it's that time of year when a lot of people are getting their Christmas bonuses. So, Aries, I think you have something like that to look forward to. In the recent past, we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. And I think that the current environment is occurring because there was a point in the past, I'm sorry for all my pee popping, point in the past when you trusted your gut and you trusted your heart and your instincts and how you were feeling. That's really what the Knight of Cups is about. Trusting how you are feeling and going with that and allowing that to inform your decision-making process. So I do think, sorry, I'm going to adjust my mic just a tad. There we go. Perfect. So because of that, whether it was all these little decisions that you made along the way, or one major decision that was really predicated by how you were feeling at the time, this has led you to the current successes that you're experiencing, Aries. Here in the MMCLI, we have the Six of Cups in the upright. So the MMCLI is all of the events that are going to be leading up to your destiny in the midheaven. And the Six of Cups is a card about things returning from the past. It is about nostalgia. It's about returning to simpler or perceivedly better times from one's youth. So this could have been, this current opportunity also could be something that has returned to you from the past. That perhaps a previous employer approached you about returning to a job, or somebody that you've known for some time has offered you a position. All of these things are possible. From your perspective, we have the Magician in the reverse. This kind of says to me that this is a surprise to you, that this is not something that you actively manifested, but rather something that has come into your life because of outside circumstances aligning in your favor. Lucky you, Aries. From an outside perspective, we have the Empress in the reverse. The Empress showing up reversed is a rejection of feminine energies. So it's very interesting that this would be coming up here. The Empress is someone who manifests things over a prolonged period of time also. She is impregnated. There is a gestation period followed by parturition. And so for this card, this is an outside perspective, looking in on your situation. And sometimes it's good to have this, not because we necessarily feel the need to be judged or validated by others, but just as a additional perspective on our own life and situations. So this could be that people see you as rejecting femininity at this time, depending on what this job is. It might affect people's perceptions of your gender presentation. It could also be about parenthood, that perhaps parents of yours or other people in your life are perceiving that because of these additional commitments that you're making in your career, that you will not have an opportunity to be a parent soon. However, that is not something that I see as being important to you at this time, Aries, and that's what's really important. Here in the future, we have the Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups, as you can see, is a card about a myriad of opportunities. Some are going to be very good, and some are going to be not so great. And so it's going to take you using your discernment, possibly also trusting your gut and your heart to lead you in the right direction where this is concerned, Aries. Here in the hopes and fears, we have the Four of Pentacles reversed. This is about perhaps holding on to things too tightly, or inversely, not holding on to things tightly enough. It can be about a conservation of energy, although as a fire sign, if that were the case here, I would expect to see a fire sign card. I would see wands rather than pentacles, because you are a fire sign. I read the pentacles more strictly as a financial card, because wands, of course, also signify energies. So where we see this Four of Pentacles in the reverse, there could be feelings of savings and security, that perhaps you would really like to put money into a 401k or a savings account, but perhaps up until this point you didn't feel like you had enough to set aside to invest in your future. And now you're hoping that you'll have the opportunity to do that. Now we are looking at the midheaven. So this is going to be the result of some of the things that we've seen in the current situation, as well as the Imum Sili. And we have in this position the King of Wands. The King of Wands is a strong fire sign placement. This would be air of fire energy, so it is possible that you have air sign placements in your chart that are prominently placed. The King of Wands is showing up reversed here, but I think this future version of yourself is hidden from you at this time. The King of Wands is very charming, very charismatic, and very attractive to others, leading by persuasion. So I think that this does indeed lie in your destiny. But until you get a little bit closer, that picture of the future self is going to remain unclear for just a bit longer. We also have the Eight of Wands, and this is in the reverse as well. Now, this is the final outcome card, and it's showing up here in the final outcome. It could mean a few different things. The Eight of Wands kind of implies this trajectory, right? Because it's a stick being propelled like a spear, thrown through the air like a stick or a javelin. And so it has kind of like this arc to its movement, right? So there is in that similar trajectory to certain paths in one's life, such that you may see that you have this steady rise, you kind of hit a peak, and then there's a drop-off in certain things. And it could be that with this Seven of Cups, you kind of pursue a few of these different routes. You might have the opportunity to pursue a few different routes. And so you would see that cycle kind of play out a few different times. The Eight of Wands can also be a very swift ending with definitive closure. And it will not be coming soon, perhaps, but that when an ending does come, that it will be very definitive and there will be clear closure to the situation. So, both of those things are possible. Aries, this has been a very good reading for you so far. So what I'm going to do is for each sign, I'm just going to flip the cards over. And then when I go into the extended, I'm going to read the cards in a collective sense, and I'm also going to get out my crystal and scry about any further meanings. So if you are interested in those messages, they will be over on the members side of the channel. It is not necessary to join us there, however, to get your fire sign messages. But if you want extra information, you can look over there. And your presence is always, always appreciated. So now we're going to be moving on to the fire sign of Leo. And I do want to give the cards a decent shuffle in between, so I hope you'll humor me. Oh, we've got a jumper. Yes, I suppose so. All right. Oh, Knight of Wands crossed by the Queen of Wands. Leo, you're really strongly in your energy right now. So for this upcoming period, since I've already told you what the current position cards are, let's look at the past. It looks like you're coming through this period with the Five of Swords, where there was a lot of contention, a lot of combat. Excuse me. And that you have overcome these things. So when the card is in the reverse like this and it's in the past, oftentimes that will mean that those are things you are leaving behind. So those energies, you are leaving that behind you. Anyone who's not serving your higher purpose, any situations that are overly fraught with drama and pain. And this is not the Three of Swords. This is outright conflict. The Three of Swords, of course, can be more like arguments, more like interpersonal difficulties, but the Five of Swords is really more a card of actual combat. So I think that you are leaving that period of your life behind you. Then, as I mentioned, we have the Queen of Swords. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Knight of Swords, and it's crossed by the Queen of Swords. So both of these energies can be you at the same time. The Queen of Swords is a very charismatic, sparkling conversationalist. Really makes the party happen when she shows up, right? It's a feminine energy, but you don't have to be a woman to be within this energy. The Knight of Wands is fire, a fire energy. Very, very much about that spark. It's good for getting projects off the ground. It could be a period in your life of embracing your sexuality as well. So both of these very, very strong energies in a fire sign reading for you, Leo. down here in the Imam Silai, we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is a card of financial stability and success. And we actually see this mirrored in other people's perceptions of you with the Queen of Pentacles. These two cards are very much alike. We've got strong feminine figures, and these are both people fully capable of taking care of themselves. So these are feminine energies, but I want to talk about that in the context overall of your financial state, right? Because you don't necessarily, yes, I'm looking at you, you do not necessarily have to be a woman to be in these energies. Earth energy is passive energy, and a feminine energy is also a passive receptive energy. So what we have is this passive receptive energy. What else has passive receptive energy? Passive income. So things like writing a book, maybe being involved in like a drop shipping business. These ways of bringing in passive income have really supported you during this time. And that is where I think your focus has been. From your perspective, this echoes here what we see in the past with this Five of Swords in the reverse, leaving this Five of Swords energy behind. This is the Seven of Swords. And of course, the Seven of Swords is about trickery. It's about guile. It's about pulling the wool over people's eyes. And we have it here in the reverse in your perspective of the current situation, because I think you are pulling the wool off of your own eyes. Any situations in which people have tried to take advantage of you or have tried to lead you astray, you see it for what it is, and you are able to sidestep and avoid these tricksters and thieves. Here in the future, we have the Two of Cups showing up in the reverse. So I think because this is a card in the future, sometimes the cards show up reversed because we don't yet see these situations coming into our lives. So this could be a partnership. This can be a romantic partnership for those of you who are looking for that at this time. It can also be a friendship with partnership aspects, so that you maybe start out as friends but then have like business that is tied up in that. Or you could have a coworker that becomes a very close friend. The Two of Cups is a strong emotional bond of some kind. And there is something like that coming in for you in the future, Leo. Here in the hopes and fears, we have the Two of Cups. I'm sorry, we have the Two of Swords. We have another two. In true fixed sign fashion, Leo, you are hoping that you will have a choice in the matter, that you will have a say in your own destiny. And, of course, it's good to have that if that's what's necessary, but sometimes it's also good to just allow things to occur. and see where the chips fall, and maybe you would end up with something even better than what you had previously imagined possible. So here in the Destiny position, we have the Seven of Wands, and this is showing up in the upright. So the Seven of Wands energy is very different from this Five of Swords energy. Even if you are the stronger combatant, these people are still out for blood. They're trying to kill you. With the Seven of Wands, what we have is that you have attained an advantageous position, and that others are targeting you because of that. But you hold the high ground, and you're a very strong combatant. And I don't think that they will have very much to threaten you with at all. And finally, here in the future, we have the Six of Pentacles. Now, the Six of Pentacles, you could see this as a step back from the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles would be this Six of Pentacles then, plus the Three of Pentacles of collaborative work, right? Excuse me. But you could also see the Six of Pentacles in a few other ways. So the figure here is holding some scales. This shows that there has to be an even and balanced give and take in our financial relationships. So whether this is money in exchange for goods or services, or that you put money into an investment and that investment increases over time, that's kind of what we're talking about here with the Six of Pentacles. There's also the idea that you can give to charity, and that can be part of your energetic exchange with your community. But overall, with the Six of Pentacles here in the final position of your reading, this is also opening up a potential. Because remember, this reading might only cover like maybe a week, maybe a month, maybe a year. Our lives are very long. So I think this shows that your earning potential will be increasing at this time, but that you have not tapped out your earning potential. All right, Leo. Well, thank you for joining me. This will be your reading for today. If you would like to know more, what I'm doing right now is I'm flipping all of the cards over, and I'm going to go over to the members portion of the channel and do an extended reading of all of the cards collectively for the fire signs. And then I'm also going to pull out my crystal and do a little bit of scrying about each position. So if that's something that interests you, I invite you to head over to the members section of the channel for more. And finally, we will be reading today for the sign of Sagittarius. I'll give you the cards a good shuffle for you, Sagittarius. All right. All right, Sagittarius. So I'm going to start with your past position because it looks like you have some kind of ongoing trial that you are navigating. Now, this is the Judgment card, not the Justice card. So when I say trial, I mean of a personal nature. This could be some kind of test. This could be a course of initiation. And I think because this card is from the past, but it's showing up upright, that this is something that you are currently going through. Just writing out my timestamps here. And in the current position, it's very interesting placements that we have here because we have the Five of Cups, which is about disappointment, but we have that crossed by the Chariot. Now, the card of the Chariot is about victory, it's about success, it's also about mobility. So it's interesting that despite having all of these things at your disposal as you go through this particular test in your life, that you would still be feeling this disappointment, and that being a big focus in your life. Because I say that because I'm not trying to bring you down, but it is showing up as the major indicator card in your reading. And therefore, it seems to be quite a big focus for you at this time. Down here in the Imam Silai, we have the Ten of Wands in the upright. The Ten of Wands is a card of burdens and oppression. It is Saturn in Sagittarius energy. So that's a very interesting energy. Saturn being a very slow-moving planet, and Saturn, because of its attachment to long-distance travel, being very much about mobility. And of course, Sagittarius and Gemini being on opposite ends of that mobility spectrum of Gemini being short-distance travel and then Sagittarius being long-distance travel, right? And alignment with the house system and everything. But so this Five of Cups, you might have the opportunity for mobility, but it might be moving very slowly. And that might be what is causing the disappointment, the burden to you, and the feelings of oppression. Here in the area of your perceptions, Sagittarius, we have the Two of Wands in the reverse. So this Two of Wands card is about planning. It's about foresight, navigation. And because this card is in the reverse, I think that you might perceive at this time, Sagittarius, that some of your issues are coming about because of a failure on your part to put in the proper planning. That could be possible. Some things you just can't plan for. And we'll get to your future placement in a moment, and I'll tell you why I think that your feelings of feeling like you've failed at planning might not be totally well-founded. And from an outsider's perspective, we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is water of air energy. So a nice ocean breeze, right? Well, not according to this vulture, not according to this sharp blade. The Queen of Swords is about speaking your truth, even when the truth is harsh, and even when the truth has not been asked for, because it is important to be able to set boundaries with people, and the Queen of Swords is all about that. The Queen of Swords, too, you could also think about your throat chakra and opening and tuning your throat chakra such that you will be able to effectively communicate your truth. Now let's get into this future energy, and I'll tell you about it, and I'll tell you why I think that this Two of Wands in the reverse, you might be treating yourself a little harshly at this time. Because the card that we have for your future is the Fool. The Fool is the beginning of the journey through the major arcana. And you can see also that, especially on this card, light is streaming out of all of the facial orifices of this jack-o'-lantern. There's literally nothing inside but illumination, but the candle that is lighting up this jack-o'-lantern. Head empty, no thoughts, not a care in the world. And this card is encouraging you to embrace the unpredictability of the future and continue moving forward regardless. Don't have a lot of preconceived notions based on your past experience. Just simply keep moving forward. Sagittarius, here in your hopes and fears, we have the Four of Swords. And this card is reversed. It could be that you feel like you don't have enough time to properly rest. It could be that you feel overworked or overburdened, and that you're afraid that you are not going to have an opportunity to rest, and you're hoping that at some point you will. Here in the midheaven position, Sagittarius, we have your card coming out as the Temperance card, and really coming into your power. Now, this card is reversed, but I think it's reversed because with everything that's going on in the current situation, it's going to be very difficult for you to see the potential for this in these current events. Whatever this Ten of Wands represents as far as burdens and oppression are concerned, the ways in which you cast that off are going to create a level of mastery and balance in your life. The Temperance card is all about practicing things, practicing for self-improvement. So the first time that you ride a bike, you're not going to ride it perfectly. You might have training wheels on, you might fall off, but eventually you're going to get to the point where you're very good at riding that bike if you continue to practice. So this is a card urging you forward, urging you to ignore the pain, ignore the disappointments that you are feeling in the current situation, and continue to press forward. because you will eventually reach that tipping point, as they call it, the 10,000 hours or whatever point at which you really become a professional at what you're doing. And the final outcome card for you, Sagittarius, we have Leo's card, fellow fire sign, the Strength card. Now, the Strength card is actually also about mastery. The Strength card is very similar to the Queen of Wands energy in some ways, in that sometimes strength lies in your power of persuasion. Sometimes strength is the right charms, or the right incantations, or strength of knowledge. Because, of course, in the Strength card, this woman is not fighting with this lion. She's embracing the lion, speaking to the lion. They're enjoying each other's company. And that is true strength. It's not in the fighting or the defending. It is in the mastery. All right, Sagittarius, so that will conclude your general reading. However, if you would like more messages, we are going to head over to the members portion of the channel now. I am not broadcasting those live, but they will be uploaded after they are complete. And I will be revisiting all of the cards that I pulled for all three of the signs. And then I'm also going to be pulling out my crystal and scrying on each of the positions. So if that is something that interests you, I invite you over to the extended reading. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this reading, I really hope that you will like the video and comment down below if you aren't participating in the live chat. It very much assists me with the metrics of the video. I do also offer personal readings. They are available through my website and also through my Etsy. So if either of those interest you, I invite you to take me up on that offer. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon.